TV.
What up? My name is Insecurity. You are watching VOP TV. Keep it locked.
Hello, I am Floyd Igbo. Keep watching VOP TV.
Hi everyone. I hope you're doing good. Keep watching VOP TV and just have an amazing day. Thank you.
Hi guys, it's your boy Praise. Keep watching VOP TV.
Voice of the People 90.3 FM became a symbol for 21st century media. And now, a new baby is born. Voice of the People Television, VOP TV, youthful, full of vigor and penchant for excellence in the continent's media space, exposing the wrongs, applauding the rights, dissecting the news without fear or favor, through factual and accurate stories and contents.
Corruption kills three things that makes a society.
Representing the interests of the people and giving them a voice. Voice of the People TV is here to stay towards building a fair society. VOP TV, Voice of the People Television, truly a voice for the people.
We encourage you to click on the like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We are Voice of the People TV. Also follow us on all our social media platforms. We are at VOP TV Live. Visit our website www.vop.ng for fresh and trending news. Also watch us live on SLTV channel 264. VOP TV, Voice of the People Television.
happens in the hush behind hangar doors? Who signs the papers that gamble with lives? Which truths were grounded before they even ever had wings? If you've ever buckled a seatbelt at 30,000 feet, if you've ever stared out of that tiny window and wondered who's really in control of the skies, it isn't just flight, it's power, it's politics, it's pressure sealed in steel. We're peeling back the clouds from runway risks to sky-high secrets. We're diving deep where most dare not to look. Aviation Scope, every Sunday at 7 p.m. only on Voice of the People TV. We don't just report, we reveal. We don't just ask, we uncover. Because when it comes to the skies, ignorance is turbulence. Aviation Scope, the sky isn't the limit, it's just the beginning.
This is Health Check, your weekly guide to better living, smarter choices, and trusted answers. From everyday wellness to urgent health issues, we've got you covered. Health Check, only on Voice of the People television, where your health has a voice.
Join us on People's Voice, where we amplify the voice of those that matters the most. Join the conversation. Share your thoughts with me. I am Savior Udo. Weekdays, Monday through Friday, from 4 p.m. to 5. Don't forget, our voice matters the most. Let us come together and share our concerns.
In a world where truth is the ultimate power and opinions scream the loudest, it's time to wade through the noise.
Hunger no get drum! Hunger no get religion!
And scan the human interest and trending topics that matter. Stay tuned to The Issues, your plug to the stories making the buzz, from politics to science and technology, social justice, and more. Let's tackle the tough questions and expose the truth. The Issues on Voice of the People television. Don't just react, understand.
In a world where power shapes with every headline.
In a nation full of questions.
In a world filled with noise, the truth needs a voice.
The policies that shapes our world and the economy that determines our future.
Every hour, every day, the grapevine keeps buzzing. And together, we are committed to telling the stories that shape our world, because your voice is our focus.
Don't forget, our voice matters the most. Let us come together and share our concerns.
Welcome to the locker room, the home of football talk that matters. I am Jerry Arpelon. Join us every weekday, Monday to Friday at 5 p.m. Nigerian time, as we share the hot takes and hot debates in the exciting world of football. And joining me are the usual suspects, Ikechukwu and Mayowa, as we break down all the hot takes and everything that's happening in the football. Don't just watch football, live it with us. Catch us on the locker room and Voice of the People television at 5 p.m. Nigerian time. And like I always say, if not going to the talk, please the sport.
Yes, obviously everybody knows the game is beautiful, and that's why I love sports. My name is Kizzy K. You're welcome to my republic. But remember, there can never be a transfer without a window. Just like there can never be a deep thinking without a Pep Guardiola in football. You can't say tennis without talking about Djokovic. So why not give me attention on the show so I can run your race on the TV like Lewis Hamilton, Formula 1 star. Don't forget, when God have mercy on you, you can achieve your goals like Cristiano Ronaldo. I am a proud Nigerian, and right here, we talk NFF. For every sports update, commentaries, live interviews on the game, we got you on this, because right here at Voice of the People TV, the Sports Public Show has got everything just for you to be part of it. I love the beautiful game, and that's why Kizzy K loves sports.
extraordinary. Something big is happening on your screen. Introducing VOP TV. Now streaming on SLTV channel 264. From breaking news to captivating conversations, news analysis, giving you all sides to the story. We bring in-depth discussions on the issues that matter, from politics to sports, entertainment, and lifestyle. VOP TV on SLTV channel 264. Join us as we redefine what television means to you. Voice of the People Television, VOP TV. Now you have more than a voice. The red carpets, awards, the razzmatazz, music, fashion, interviews, and more. Spotlight on Voice of the People Television. Let's feed you with all the juicy stories in the global entertainment space, bringing you the glitz and glamour as it is hot. Stay tuned to Spotlight, 1 p.m. Monday to Friday. Spotlight on VOP TV. Entertainment like never before.
In a world where power shifts with every headlines, news breaks and events happens, we bring you unbiased and explicit information on politics, economy, and state of the nation. We break down the chaos. Facts, not fluff. Truth, not a spin. We discuss not just politics, but a glimpse into the future. Voice of the People Television. Now you have more than a voice.
From the views on the streets,
we go to bed empty hunger,
to the blaring horns of a hustling city, the loudest voices of the common man got a medium to be heard.
This particular administration, they were coming unprepared.
It's not a bad thing to renovate the president's lodge.
Through top-notch programming, unbiased reportage of news, sports, business, entertainment, and cultural documentaries, Voice of the People, 90.3 FM, became a symbol for 21st century media. And now, a new baby is born. Voice of the People Television, VOP TV, youthful, full of vigor and penchant for excellence in the continent's media space, exposing the wrongs, applauding the rights, dissecting the news without fear or favor, through factual and accurate stories and contents.
Corruption kills three things that makes a society.
Representing the interests of the people and giving them a voice. Voice of the People TV is here to stay towards building a fair society. VOP TV, Voice of the People Television, truly a voice for the people.
We encourage you to click on the like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We are Voice of the People TV. Also follow us on all our social media platforms. We are at VOP TV Live. Visit our website www.vop.ng for fresh and trending news. Also watch us live on SLTV channel 264. VOP TV, Voice of the People Television.
2564 is coming up on Barney 9, right?
The 2564 Atlantic.
happens in the hush behind hangar doors? Who signs the papers that gamble with lives? Which truths were grounded before they even ever had wings? If you've ever buckled a seatbelt at 30,000 feet, if you've ever stared out of that tiny window and wondered who's really in control of the skies, it isn't just flight, it's power, it's politics, it's pressure sealed in steel. We're peeling back the clouds from runway risks to sky-high secrets. We're diving deep where most dare not to look. Aviation Scope, every Sunday at 7 p.m. only on Voice of the People TV. We don't just report, we reveal. We don't just ask, we uncover. Because when it comes to the skies, ignorance is turbulence. Aviation Scope, the sky isn't the limit, it's just the beginning.
This is Health Check, your weekly guide to better living, smarter choices, and trusted answers. From everyday wellness to urgent health issues, we've got you covered. Health Check, only on Voice of the People television, where your health has a voice.
Join us on People's Voice, where we amplify the voice of those that matters the most. Join the conversation. Share your thoughts with me. I am Savior Udo. Weekdays, Monday through Friday, from 4 p.m. to 5. Don't forget, our voice matters the most. Let us come together and share our concerns.
In a world where truth is the ultimate power and opinions scream the loudest, it's time to wade through the noise.
Hunger no get tribe! Hunger no get religion!
And scan the human interest and trending topics that matter. Stay tuned to The Issues, your plug to the stories making the buzz, from politics to science and technology, social justice, and more. Let's tackle the tough questions and expose the truth. The Issues, on Voice of the People television. Don't just react, understand.
In a world where power shifts with every headline,
In a nation full of questions,
In a world filled with noise, the truth needs a voice.
The policies that shapes our world and the economy that determines our future.
Every hour, every day, the grapevine keeps buzzing. And together, we are committed to telling the stories that shape our world because your voice is our focus.
Don't forget, our voice matters the most. Let us come together and share our concerns.
welcome to the locker room, the home of football talk that matters. I am Jerry Aide. Join us every weekday, Monday to Friday at 5 p.m. Nigerian time, as we share the hot takes and hot debates in the exciting world of football. And joining me are the usual suspects, Ikechukwu and Mayowa, as we break down all the hot takes and everything that's happening in the football. Don't just watch football, live it with us. Catch us on the locker room and Voice of the People television at 5 p.m. Nigerian time. And like I always say, if not 20 minutes off, please, the sport.
Yes, obviously everybody knows the game is beautiful and that's why I love sports. My name is Kizzy K. You're welcome to my republic. But remember, there can never be a transfer without a window. Just like there can never be a deep thinking without a Pep Guardiola in football. You can't say tennis without talking about Djokovic. So why not give me attention on the show so I can run your race on the TV like Lewis Hamilton Formula 1 star. Don't forget, when God have mercy on you, you can achieve your goals like Cristiano Ronaldo. I am a proud Nigerian, and right here, we talk NFF. For every sports update, commentaries, live interviews on the game, we got you on this, because right here at Voice of the People TV, the Sports Public Show has got everything just for you to be part of it. I love the beautiful game, and that's why Kizzy K loves sports.
extraordinary. Something big is happening on your screen. Introducing VOP TV. Now streaming on SLTV channel 264. From breaking news to captivating conversations, news analysis, giving you all sides to the story. We break in-depth discussions on the issues that matter, from politics to sports, entertainment, and lifestyle. VOP TV on SLTV channel 264. Join us as we redefine what television means to you. Voice of the People Television, VOP TV. Now you have more than a voice. The red carpets, awards, the razzmatazz, music, fashion, interviews, and more. Spotlight on Voice of the People Television. Let's feed you with all the juicy stories in the global entertainment space, bringing you the glitz and glamour as it is hot. Stay tuned to Spotlight, 1 p.m. Monday to Friday. Spotlight on VOP TV. Entertainment like never before.
In a world where power shifts with every headlines, news breaks and events happens, we bring you unbiased and explicit information on politics, economy, and state of the nation. We break down the chaos. Facts, not fluff. Truth, not spin. We discuss not just politics, but a glimpse into the future. Voice of the People Television. Now you have more than a voice.
From the views on the street,
we go to bed empty hunger,
to the blaring horns of a hustling city, the loudest voices of the common man got a medium to be heard.
This particular administration, they were coming unprepared.
It's not a bad thing to renovate the president's lawn.
Through top-notch programming, unbiased reportage of news, sports, business, entertainment, and cultural documentaries, Voice of the People, 90.3 FM, became a symbol for 21st century media. And now, a new baby is born. Voice of the People Television, VOP TV, youthful, full of vigor and penchant for excellence in the continent's media space, exposing the wrongs, applauding the rights, dissecting the news without fear or favor, through factual and accurate stories and contents.
Corruption kills three things that makes a society.
Representing the interests of the people and giving them a voice. Voice of the People TV is here to stay towards building a fair society. VOP TV, Voice of the People Television, truly a voice for the people.
Good morning and welcome to VOP this morning. We do apologize for starting a bit late, but of course we are here to serve you breakfast as it's hot. I'm Jane Ogoye, and over the next 2 hours we're bringing you trending topics from Nigeria and as they have happened. I'm not alone in the studio. I have my gentlemen with me. Good morning, Moses. Good morning, Mr. Okoro.
Good morning, Nigeria.
Good morning, Nigerians.
Welcome to the program.
Yeah. So let's just dive into the banter for today.
Well, let's take a quick look at the conversation we're having this morning. Inec probes leak of voter data as Emeka threatens action against Wike's Aide. Political realignment as Reps Minority Leader Kingsley Chinda resigns position, defects to APC after, that's the catch, winning governorship primaries. All right. Okay. And then we'll also look at the Christian Association of Nigeria, CAN, as they declared June 14 Black Sunday over rising insecurity. Well, those are the conversations that we will be delving into this beautiful Wednesday morning. So do come along with us as we dissect all of these conversations. And we do have our guest with us in the studio to make sense of it all. But there is another conversation that we will be touching on. Jane, go ahead, please.
Osborne Ubong Okon, a political aide to Prince Godwin Ntuk Ede, the political advisor to the Akwa Ibom State Governor, Pastor Umo Eno, has been relieved of his duties after criticizing President Bola Tinubu on social media. The development comes amid rising national concerns over the security situation in the country, further highlighted by the recent abduction of pupils and teachers in Oyo State. Taken to his Facebook page to express his frustration with the current situation, Mr. Okon, who identifies as a member of the ruling party, wrote, "In a sane climb, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu would have respectfully and honorably resigned. I am of APC, but truth be told, a few hours after the Facebook post went live, the Office of the Political Advisor issued a letter terminating Mr. Okon's appointment with immediate effect." Oh well, so this is one of the classic examples of when people say don't bite the fingers that feed you. Because in Nigeria, politics is very dirty. You can't be on the side of the ruling party in Nigeria and criticize the incumbent. And this is what has just played out. And it's just a pointer to young people who take up political offices, appointments with the government of the day, to just say that once you sign up for that, you sign away your rights to, you sign away your rights. You sign away your rights to freedom of speech because, I mean, look at what happened. Moses, why are you laughing? I mean, look at what happened. You know, what I think find
signing away your life.
No, rights.
You are right.
Right.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, because what also came to mind is that the governor of the states is of the PDP, right?
No, he's of the APC.
Of the APC.
He moved from the PDP.
He moved from the
APC.
PDP to the APC. So this is the classic case of eye service. And rightly, like he said, in saner climes, who's this, please?
It's the way you're making it sound. Like
you sign away your rights. Because in Nigeria, you can't serve your master and then stand up against him. That's how it works in political climes.
Ordinarily,
what he did wasn't wrong. In saner clients, what he did shouldn't have cost him his job. But in Nigeria, he has to protect his job. His principals have to protect their job. And they're like, CEO, it's one of us that said this, but we don't stand with him. That's what it means. They just throw him to...
Ordinarily, if he has that position and if you're an insider, you should be able to talk to your people and say, no, let's do better. You don't come out in the open and say...
That's what I'm saying. You can't bite the fingers that feed you in Nigerian politics.
Well, I'm not sure it's just about Nigerian politics.
Okay.
You know, when they say internal climbs, you know, that internal climbs that the president will have resigned, you know, is his personal opinion.
Yes.
But when you say that in the British Parliament, in the British parliamentary system, they have what they call collective responsibility.
Yeah.
You know, so if you disagree with the principles and policies of the government, the best thing for you is to step aside.
Basically,
you cannot be inside. You cannot be in the party.
Right.
You cannot be in the party. You cannot be in the party and be criticizing the party. The best you can do is to take a walk.
But what if? Sorry, Mr. Kuro, but what if he has tried to maybe speak with them inwardly? I mean, in-house.
No, that's what we don't know.
So
that's the information we expect to get
because this is
the coming
extreme.
Days. But there are other talking points. Before I even get to what happened to the young man, I just discovered that he is a political aide to Prince Godwin Ntuk Ede, the political advisor.
Yes.
So you see, there are layers of appointments. So that tells you that our bureaucracy is very bogus and is quite expensive. And so tell me what a political advisor to the governor does to the governor. He
The
tells
political
him,
advisor that needs an advisor.
That needs an advisor.
And whose advisor needs an advisor?
Probably the young man that was relieved of his duty
Also has an
his own
advisor.
advisor.
Yeah.
So you see that it's a chain of authorities and all of that. In fact, some of them have responsibility without authority. And so what it tells you is that our bureaucracy is heavy, it's expensive, and we are talking about cutting down on the cost of governance. At some point, when in the days leading up to the 2023 presidential election, Nyesom Wike appointed 30,000 special advisors in Rivers State. We all know that
30,000?
Yes, 30,000 special advisors. I mean, these are foot soldiers, for the elections and all of that. They don't do anything.
Yeah.
They are just by name. Because I had a friend, an elderly friend of mine, who was appointed special advisor to the governor of my state, and he was like, the person that I'm advising, I've not even seen him for one day to advise him, talking about his own position as special advisor. So our bureaucracy is very, very heavy, and that is what we need to start doing, cut down on the cost of governance. It's too big, it's too heavy. You will don't be surprised that this special advisor has like 2 or 3 cars attached to his office. Now, this is one aide, though. That's the political aide. He will have other aides too. Beyond that, what has happened tells me, and it is quite telling and revealing that, well, I mean, Nigerians are no longer smiling. Everybody is getting it up to the nose. It's affecting everybody to the point that people that hitherto defended the president are coming out to say, well, Mr. President, we don't think that you are taking the right decisions on behalf of the Nigerian people.
Absolutely.
And so the chicken is coming home to roost at this moment. I expect to see more of this in the coming days.
Absolutely. And it speaks to the fact that regardless of whether governors say, oh yes, they are defecting and they will deliver their state, we should also consider the people that work with them. So if these people are not on the same page, for a lot of people, it's just making their daily bread. That's what it is. And we all feel the pain in Nigeria. I mean, everyone in Nigeria is feeling a pinch of what is going on with the economy and the rest of it. So let's stop deceiving ourselves. And it will be good for those in authority to stop deceiving themselves, thinking, oh yes, because it's good with them, everybody else is happy. Obviously not. I mean, this young man spoke. Yes, he spoke his conscience. Ordinarily, in a saner climate, we should have seen the president's reaction. And some people would say, do we expect him to react every time there is a kidnap?
Of course.
Yes, we do.
Of course.
It's not out of place to react every time. And it's not just saying, oh, our hearts go out to the families of those that lost loved ones, or those who have been kidnapped. We'll do the much we can to rescue them. No, let's actually see workings. Let's see that these kidnappers are stopped, and then the other one is prevented. Because Nigerians are not finding this funny. Nigerians are not happy. A lot of Nigerians are not happy that this has persisted. And for the fact that the presidency thought it wise to eventually go visit Oyo, Orire community and then condole with the families more than 2 weeks after the incident happened. It just shows priority, where they place their priority. But like Chukuma rightly said, I mean, if you are grieved to further save your conscience, step aside. So since he didn't, they just helped him to step aside. I'm sure he'll find something else doing.
He'll find something else.
But anyway, let's run to the papers now. Let's see what the headlines have for us this morning before we get into the conversation proper. Teachers' protests from the Nigerian Tribune, by the way. Teachers' protests spread over school abduction. So shows that Nigerians are really aggrieved. Now, the riders to that one, the riders are hold in Kogi, Lagos, Kwara, Rivers, Benue, Edo, Oyo, Ondo, Osun, Cross River, FCT. NANS, NLC join in solidarity. Senate reps condemn attack. Warn against politicizing insecurity. Our priority is safe return of our students, not politics. Makinde. CAN declares 3-day national mourning. June 14, Black Sunday. Demand state of emergency on security. All right, and And then you have on top of the masthead, you have private sector growth hits 9-month high despite cost pressures. That's according to a report. Inec probes insider breach of CVR database to hand over culprit for legal actions. We wait to see what happens. UN budget crisis tops agenda as Nigeria's Jimo Ibrahim takes helm of key UN committee. And then you go further down, you find 13 reps dump APC, PDP after party primaries. 6 Oyo lawmakers, 1 from Bauchi, join APM. Kingsley Chinda resigns as minority leader. We'll talk about that in the course of the program. ADC crisis. Aregbesola asked new judge to withdraw from Nafiu Balagwembe's suit. All right, there you have it. EFCC, Lamido, clash over witness in 1.35 billion naira fraud trial. And on health, new antibiotic-free strategy prevents newborn meningitis. That's according to researchers. And that's pretty much how far we can go on newspaper headlines this morning. Newspaper review will be at 10, and we'll get deeper into those headlines. In the meantime, let's look at what Inec should be doing as Inec probes leak of voter data as Emeka threatens action against Wike'S Aide. Let's touch on this when we come back after this break. Stay with us.
We encourage you to click on the like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We are Voice of the People TV. Also follow us on all our social media platforms. We are at VOPTV Live. Visit our website www.vop.ng for fresh and trending news. Also watch us live on SLTV channel 264. VOPTV, Voice of the People Television.
2564 is coming up on Burning Down right.
The 2564 Atlantic Tower.
What happens in the hush behind hangar doors? Who signs the papers that gamble with lives? Which truths were grounded before they even ever had wings? If you've ever buckled a seatbelt at 30,000 feet, if you've ever stared out of that tiny window and wondered who's really in control of the skies, it isn't just flight, it's power, it's politics, it's pressure sealed in steel. We're peeling back the clouds from runway risks to sky-high secrets. We're diving deep where most dare not to look. Aviation Scope, every Sunday at 7 p.m. only on Voice of the People TV. We don't just report, we reveal. We don't just ask, we uncover. Because when it comes to the skies, ignorance is turbulence. Aviation Scope, the sky isn't the limit, it's just the beginning.
This is Health Check, your weekly guide to better living, smarter choices, and trusted answers. From everyday wellness to urgent health issues, we've got you covered. Health Check, only on Voice of the People Television, where your health has a voice.
Join us on People's Voice, where we amplify the voice of those that matters the most. Join the conversation. Share your thoughts with me. I am Xavier Udo. Weekdays, Monday through Friday, from 4 p.m. to 5. Don't forget, our voice matters the most. Let us come together and share our concerns.
In a world where truth is the ultimate power and opinions scream the loudest, it's time to wade through the noise.
Hunger no get drum! Hunger no get religion!
And scan the human interest and trending topics that matter. Stay tuned to The Issues, your plug to the stories making the buzz, from politics to science and technology, social justice, and more. Let's tackle the tough questions and expose the truth. The Issues on Voice of the People Television. Don't just react, understand.
In a world where power shifts with every headline.
In a nation full of questions.
In a world filled with noise, the truth needs a voice.
The policies that shapes our world and the economy that determines our future.
Every hour, every day, the grapevine keeps buzzing. And together, we are committed to telling the stories that shape our world because your voice is our focus.
Don't forget, our voice matters the most. Let us come together and share our concerns.
Welcome to the locker room, the home of football talk that matters. I am Jerry Aide. Join us every weekday, Monday to Friday at 5 p.m. Nigerian time, as we share the hot takes and hot debates in the exciting world of football. And joining me are the usual suspects, Ikechukwu and Mayowa, as we break down all the hot takes and everything that's happening in the football. Don't just watch football, live it with us. Catch us on the locker room and Voice of the People television at 5 p.m. Nigerian time. And like I always say, if not 20 minutes off, please the sport.
Yes, obviously everybody knows the game is beautiful and that's why I love sports. My name is Kizzy K. You're welcome to my republic. But remember, there can never be a transfer without a window. Just like there can never be a deep thinking without a Pep Guardiola in football. You can't say tennis without talking about Djokovic. So why not give me attention on the show so I can run your race on the TV like Lewis Hamilton Formula 1 star. Don't forget, when God have mercy on you, you can achieve your goals like Cristiano Ronaldo. I am a proud Nigerian, and right here, we talk NFF. For every sports update, commentaries, live interviews on the game, we got you on this, because right here at Voice of the People TV, the Sports Public Show has got everything just for you to be part of it. I love the beautiful game, and that's why Kizzy K loves sports.
Well, thank you very much for joining us. Now let's get into the conversation. The Independent National Electoral Commission, Inec, has commenced an investigation into alleged allegations of unauthorized access to its continuous voter registration database following the publication of information relating to a candidate in a recent political party primary election. INEC National Commissioner and Chairman of the Information and Voter Education Committee, Mohammed Haruna, disclosed that preliminary findings from the Commission's audit trial had helped identify the user's account through which the information was accessed. Now, this comes as actor turned politician Emeka Aide has said that he's prepared to take action against Larry Olayinka, media aide to the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, over alleged exposure of his personal data from the INEC portal. Olayinka recently came under criticism after sharing what appeared to be Ike's voter information via an INEC administrative web page. Now, this development has sparked concerns amongst Nigerians who worry about the credibility of the 2027 elections if highly placed private individuals already have access to the back end of INEC's portal. What we do have to help us make sense of this, we have Dr. Ambrose Igboke, who is a global communication expert, media consultant, fellow, Institute of the Chartered Mediators, and the chairman, Guild of Public Affairs Analysts, Enugu. Joining us much later is Somi Oranta. But we do have Ambrose Igboke with us. Good morning to you. Welcome. Welcome
Good morning.
To TV.
It's good to be here live.
Yes, good to have you live.
Through virtual means.
Yes, good to have you live.
Beautiful studio, by the way.
Thank you very much. Now, but let's talk about the exposure of personal information by unauthorized persons. In this case, Mr. Larry Olayinka. What impression does that give you as a Nigerian, knowing that your information with Inec or any other, in this case Inec, but then any other organization can be accessed by any individual? Does that give you faith in the system? What impression do you take away from that incident?
Well, I don't share the hullabaloo because it is normal in Nigeria. Data security is not a serious matter here. Over time, when you saw roaming calls before, it's just that NCC, Nigeria Communication Commission, stamped down on it, and it's becoming less. You see unsolicited SMS messages from vendors. You don't know how they got your number. Sometimes you get phone calls from different people. You don't even know how they get it. And sometimes when you investigate, you find out that some of this data were gotten from somehow through the back end. Also, when you get some information, also we have also seen bank officials who were arrested for not keeping the sanctity of people's accounts, where money was moved through connivance of people working in the system. We have also seen where hacking has been done to a lot of systems in Nigeria. And most of the time, you'll find out that then the popular one, the 419, or what they call Yahoo in Nigeria, where people actually, hack into database of, people and skim away their monies and their accounts and their, vital information. It is established fact that most of the times, people who get access do it with the connivance of insiders. The problem is always that when these things move, especially sometimes you see money being paid from your bank account, and you start asking questions, and they will tell you, is this charge, is this charge, is this charge? And when you're looking, something is also moved. Most of the time, they tell you systems breach. They tell you all kinds of technical jargons. They don't explain.
But as we walk towards election year, Nigerians are concerned about their data being protected. Nigerians are concerned about the possibility of tweaking information, tweaking data in the favor of the ruling party, seeing that the person in question who allegedly had access to the Inec portal is a representative of one person who is basically supporting APC government. Should Nigerians be concerned about their information or the possibility that this election can be rigged directly from Inec portal?
Well, Nigerians have already been concerned because what happened in 2023, where suddenly there was a glitch at the presidential election, that was also their data was not protected because that glitch made sure that results were not transmitted as were promised. Till today, nobody went in for it. Rather, they used the technicalities of the electoral law to cover it up. Through almost every election cycle, you receive, I don't know if you do that, but sometimes I receive messages from, contestants, from political parties. How did I get my number?
Well,
so most of these numbers were gotten from database.
Dr. Ambrose, the way you speak, you seem to agree with the normalcy of this infringement.
Abnormality.
Well, the issue is that
the normalcy.
We have normalized abnormalcy. Yes, we have normalized abnormalcy because why this is raising, because Nigerians, we need to take things holistically. We are too reactive to issues piecemeal. Why are we pretending? Why are we trying to bring out? Why are we pretending as if we have a data security?
No, we don't have
it.
No, we don't have it. This one should be more concerning
no, we don't have
to
it.
Nigerians, especially given the fact that we are leading up to a presidential election when, In 2023, like you cited, Nigerians were concerned that, look, I mean, how did we get to this sorry pass where you saw how election results were mutilated, how the IREV was discarded at some point. And now we have a personal aide of a highly placed or somebody who seems to be a powerful minister is having access to Inec's back end. So what should be the consequences? Because if we glamour over it, paper over it, and move on, now it turns to normalcy, which is an abnormalcy. Shouldn't there be consequences? When you say, I mean, you don't see the hula balo, what it's all about, does it look like Nigerians should accept it as it is?
Nigerians have accepted worse. We are a docile citizenry. Let's not pretend that we are proactive here. I have always advocated that the docility of the Nigerian citizen is what makes these people do what they do. There have been no consequences over the years.
So how do we flip
You
it?
will see people supporting this abnormalcy because that's what we do as a people. We support the wrong things. We support wrong choices.
Okay, but,
we support the wrong things done by government.
Dr. Ambrose, interestingly,
and that's who we are.
Dr. Ambrose, curiously, the tweet is still on, the leak that Mr. Olayinka posted, is still on his Twitter handle as we speak. So what should be, just like Mr. Okoro asked, what should be the right punishment or consequence? Because you have one on the, we have the INEC staff who leaked it, and then you have a 7 ministers aide who posted the leak.
What has been the consequences for a lot of police officers who shoot innocent citizens, who commit a count of malfeasance in the practice of their duties? Most of them are just transferred to another location. What are the consequences of public office holders who loot money? And most of the time, we hear media trial and it is gone. What I'm saying is I'm not trying to look at it just from prism of what happened now. I'm trying to look at it from a cultural system where, as a people, we have thrown away consequences and punishments. People are not punished for consequences, and because of that, it's only people who are vulnerable that are dealt with. The powerful get away with it, and that is why each time it gets worse. Because when they try something and there's no outreach. Look at a country is still functioning, moving around, where our children, primary school children, toddlers are in captivity. Look at what happened in a small country called Laos the other day. Just because minors were trapped, the country shut down and made sure that those minors. But in this country, we take things that are absurdities as common. So if there's going to be a punishment, first of all, the INEC officials who did this must be fished out. But again, you see that INEC will protect them. That is their normal thing. Even when
INEC hasn't said it will protect.
Well, I will see. I said I'm predicting that INEC will protect as usual because I'm trying to, do the antecedents of INEC. When they even have wrong electoral practices, when it is clear, they come to defend themselves against malfeasance that they've done. And this is the systemic decay in Nigeria public office, where you think that you can get away. So far, you have the pleasure of the person that appointed you. The other citizens can go to hell. And that is what has been happening over the time. So the INEC official should be fished out, prosecuted, and if possible, jailed. But because there are data protection laws in this country, and those things have been violated. But you see how it will end. Mr. Nere himself needs to be brought in and questioned. But who will do that? And for him to have the audacity to still leave it in his Twitter page in this moment shows that he's not even afraid of anything.
Dr. Ambrose, do you believe that the Nigerian people have a voice? Because you sound like it's hopeless for the ordinary man in Nigeria. If those in power can do, have done, and have been doing whatever they like, and the ordinary Nigerian really has nothing to say about it, are we in a hopeless situation?
We are. And I call myself a pragmatist. The power resides with the people and belongs to the people. But the Nigerian people have abdicated that power and given up that position, and in practice of their God-given powers. So democracy is a situation where the power resides with the people. But in the Nigerian case, we have abdicated that position of authority, democratic authority, and handed it over to those who are ruling us. And we make excuses for all the wrong things that they do. So it's not going to change because Larry posted something on
Shouldn't we make a change?
We are not ready.
What if
I don't like fooling myself.
What
we are not ready.
Okay. What should we? At what point do you think that we'll get ready? We'll be ready.
At the point where you challenge your local government chairman, at the point where you challenge your pastor or priest who uses church money to do other things, at the point you challenge your sphere of influence for the wrongdoing. At the point you have to do all these things where you have your sphere of influence, interactions, daily interactions, before you now take it to go to the local government, state level, and the presidency. At the point where Nigerians no longer fight themselves, where evil is being perpetrated in the name of political party affiliation, ethnic chauvinism, or even nepotic alliances. When you do all those things, then they are not ready. Because our man is there. When it was your man's turn, he did the wrong thing. Therefore, allow our man to do the wrong thing too. Then we support him. So we have not seen the relevance of having an ideological and ethical existence. So we are still primordial.
Okay,
we are still behaving as we are in the caves. And that is the problem.
But going by some of the indices you just highlighted, it appears as though 2027 will just be another election, because it's almost impossible, logically speaking, realistically speaking, to achieve all of this, the turnaround, in less than 7 months. So are we saying we should just keep tagging along and then 2027 comes?
Well, every election provides an opportunity to make a change. The 7 months is not even too much if you want to make a change.
Okay.
Elections are still in January.
Okay.
But the problem is that when you look the body language of the common Nigerian citizens, our collective will is not even there. So people must have a collective will to be able to agree on the way forward. We don't have that. So if that basic ingredient is missing, you cannot achieve much together. Then if you are not together and you are balkanized among these primordial sentimental lines, then you are still living as if you are living in the jungle.
Okay, Dr. Ambrose, I like the fact that we are at this point now talking about how societies change. I could go through 4, 5, 6 societies, who were at a worse situation than Nigeria is now. But there was a turning point. If you remember what happened, if you recall what happened in Tunisia, Mohamed Bouazizi, you know the story, you're familiar with the story. If you recall what happened in Romania in 1989, what happened in South Korea last year, what happened in Madagascar early or late last year, and all of that, do you think that it will get to a point in Nigeria where one incident could spark that change that we desire?
I'm a student of history.
Okay.
And I can even trace it back to the French, what happened in the French in 1739, when King Louis was over. Then secularism was enthroned in France, monarchy was discarded. Hunger caused that. People were dying in their homes, brought out to the street, dead body because of hunger. And I remember history books said that when the queen was approached, that people don't have bread to eat. Our own alternative was, let them eat cake, because she was so detached from reality. And then when the revolution came, it swept everybody. Until today, France is one of the most secular countries, freeway countries. And then when we come to the Arab Springs, we saw that what happened, just like Tunisia you mentioned, it swept Tunisia. There was Libya was caught in that web. Egypt was caught in that web as well. But what did we see again? When we saw the liberation is not a sprint race. It's a marathon. It's a conscious effort, moves, change the button, and it goes on. History has shown that. But what happened in Arab Spring was a sprint. Now they are back to worse situations again. The Arab Spring. Egypt is balkanized, Libya is balkanized, Tunisia, it is not uhuru for them.
Okay, so let's look at the good examples.
Okay, the good examples I will take is, for example, Rwanda.
Okay.
Now, Nigeria went through a 3-year civil war that ended on 12th January 1970. From 1967 to 1970, the war went on. Brutal war that killed a lot of people, millions. If this president would have been called a genocide. I don't know why he has not been called a genocide. Now, we didn't learn anything from the war, because no victor, no vanquished. It was just 10 papers, nothing. But look at countries like Europe that went to First and Second World War. After Second World War, they formed solid principles like United Nations. They came together, had alliances. Germany was not punished for having that war. In fact, they were rehabilitated. But in our own case, the people that lost the war became victims. You don't run a country down. Let's talk of Rwanda. Rwanda had that bloody war between the Tutsis and the Hutus. And just 20 years down the line, they were already reforming, reminding their people that it will never happen again. But we don't even have, we see these things as not important, but they are important because it's the psychology of the citizens you are working on. You don't even have a remembrance day. I have challenged Nigeria, even governors from the Southeast. Why can't you mark a remembrance day for the Biafran citizens that died? Just like it was the Southwest that started the June 12th, holiday before the federal government now picked into it. But look at, no, it's a national holiday. So if you don't remember those, it won't work. Rwanda has turned themselves around under 20 years. The war is almost 60 years, and we have not done that. Secondly, Singapore. Lee Kuan Yew was a leader who felt that, look, we can change. And he went through the throttles to change what we have. But here in Nigeria, what do we have? We don't, once you signify even interest to become anything, we are sidelined. They'll say you are too ambitious.
Okay,
so we have not even started that mentality of trying to put the right people in positions. Because when you come declare yourself, the Godfather said, this guy is too ambitious. They rather say they want to go and beg somebody who is not ready to come for. Such people don't have the motivation to do anything. And that is why you say the country keeps sliding down into chaos.
Okay, so apparently, Dr. Ambrose, your position is that Nigeria, we can't get to we still don't have a turning point.
In history has shown that turning points are not planned.
Okay.
They are spontaneous events that happen.
Exactly.
So human threshold for endurance, once it's overstretched, that implosion may happen.
Okay.
But for now, we are not angry yet. We're not even angry that things are going on. Forget what the common man says in the street. All these people shouting in the street on in the keypads of their phone, when they see the oppressors, the first thing they do is rank Aide.
Okay.
The first thing they do is, sure, sir. The next thing they do is that they worship their oppressors.
Right.
So when it is time to even engage, they will go and say, please give us money for school fees. Give us money for accommodation. So we don't even know where we are for now. And that is the problem we have.
All right. Thank you very much, Dr. Ambrose. But just on the sidelines, when you said that Germany wasn't punished, the people here say the Biafran people, the Igbo people were not punished because they said no victor, no vanquished. But in Germany, after the First World War, they were placed on reparations. They stopped conscription to them. They took German East Africa from them, took German West Africa from them, took a lot of territories they had in Africa. That was some form of punishment. Even after the Second World War, as a matter of fact, they stopped paying reparations just in 1995, talking about punishment.
No,
so our people say we didn't even punish the Biafran people.
They were punished heavily. One, you say no victor, no vanquished. And you impoverished everybody, first of all, from ground zero. The 20-pound policy. That 20-pound policy was the biggest punishment you could give to anybody. So if you had billions in your account before the war, when you came back, you were given 20 pounds.
Okay.
I get to the point now. So that is a pure, the Germany you are talking about, a lot of the German, the Biafran rap that did all the magic in technology, where are they? What did American and Britain do? They were in the race to get all the science eggheads after the World War II and rehabilitated them to become part of the new global scientific pool that they had. Germany was properly rehabilitated, especially the West Germany then, because it was East Germany that was practicing socialism and communism, that they went on the pace of the USSR.
All right, then.
But the West, they were enhanced. They were left to do their technology, and within a total of 40 years after the war, they became a global power again.
Let's come back to the situation on ground, because we are making our own history here. Let's go virtual. We do have Professor Olanrewaju Lawal join the conversation. Good morning to you. He joins us from Port Harcourt. Good morning to you. Good to have you. Good to have you. Looking at the issue on ground now, a lot of Nigerians are concerned about these alleged data breach. Inec has said, look, they will look into it, look into the officer that might have leaked it. Emeka is saying that he will sue. Now, do you think this current Inec chairman, should be trusted in executing a credible election if members of Inec already are leaking information of individuals? Should Nigerians be concerned about the possibility that Data. People can be profiled according to their data, resident in Inec, and elections might be, taken the other way. Now, do unmute your device so we can get your audio feed.
My view on this issue is I don't think it's valid enough to say that the chairman or INEC may not be able to conduct a credible election because of this singular event. The way we should judge them is how did they punish whoever was found to be behind this incident? What are the safeguards that they are going to put in place to make sure that this does not? Because let's be realistic. There is no organization that is not vulnerable to this kind of situation. What we want to see is that when it happens, how do you handle it? How do you make sure it does not happen? I'll give you an example of a platform I was using, a learning management system I was using. It was hacked and the entire system was held to a ransom that the company asked to pay a ransom before the system was released. And this was done using the free part of the system. So let's not rush to conclusion. Let's give them time to do what we expect them to do, that they should make sure the person who is responsible for this act was properly published and all the necessary safeguards, even if it's going to be higher, let it go higher so that people don't do what they are not supposed to do. Wait and see. That would be my, because I don't think we should throw the bathwater, throw the baby out with the bath. I will give them a benefit of doubt and let me see what they are going to do.
All right, Prof. But INEC did say that their internal tracking system immediately discovered the person who leaked the information. So if they do know the account, why do you think it's taking them so long to, name the person and make it public?
I don't think it's appropriate to bring the person to the public. They have their own internal process for punishing people. Just like we are talking about privacy now. I don't think it will be appropriate. I don't know their protocol. Let me not preempt what they are. I don't know their protocol, but I know within every organization, when there are issues, they usually have their own process of addressing such issues. So, since they have identified the person, the next thing will be what we want to hear from them is that how do you make sure that this does not happen again? And then what are the sanctions or that is being meted out to the person who, that is what I would think is the rational thing to do. It's not about naming the person. I don't think that changes anything, because then you want him to now being attacked in his home or something.
Right.
Let's punish him appropriately. Don't get him into such a place that his life is. So I think we have to be rational about it.
Prof, being rational about it. Hello, Prof. Being rational about it, what happens to deterrence? Shouldn't he be deterred? Like to name and shame him so that it will serve as a deterrence to others. If you leave it within the internal mechanics or internal mechanism of INEC, being who we are, very protective of our own, do you think that INEC will go out, of their way to punish this guy? And the sanctions to be meted out, will it be commensurate with the level of, infraction he has done? The guest in the studio here did tell us that, well, we have data infringement laws in Nigeria. Shouldn't he be taken to court and prosecuted so that Nigerians will know probably this is one of the problems we have in INEC? Instead of having to deal with it internally and put a closure to it, how is it going to stop others from getting into the same thing if they believe that they will simply walk away with their faces intact?
Okay. I don't know the the internal mechanism of punishment for INEC if they have this issue. And you are absolutely right. We have Data Protection Act, which means in this situation, he can be prosecuted within that framework of our Data Protection Act. So, which means we need the right people, whether it's the Attorney General of the Federation or whoever should take charge of that, should be activated to take that on. So, as long, because now we have to demand that that is done.
Okay.
He has contravened the Data Protection Act. He has also, I'm sure, within the ambit of the governing framework for INEC, he has also violated some rules and regulations. So is in jeopardy. The person, I'm assuming, is a he now. Let me not preempt. So whoever the person is in jeopardy twice. He has violated the Data Protection Act of the Federation. He has also breached the protocol with INEC. So our call should be that that should be done. The right thing should be done to prosecute him. And the next thing we should be asking for is what have you done to make sure that this does not happen again? Now, the issue of naming and shaming. We are Nigerians. Let me ask you, how often have you seen Nigerians be named and then they feel ashamed? We can point to so many atrocities that have been committed across the countries, and the people have been named. The next thing we see them in political appointments, we see them having people, just like the guest that was highlighted, the people go and worship their oppressors. So naming and shaming has not helped. Let's not think it's going to help now.
All right.
What I believe is that let's see them do the right thing. And that is where the media also need to hold them accountable. We need to keep asking that question. What has been done to this actor? What has been done to make sure it doesn't happen again? Anytime we see the Inec chairman, that should be our question.
All right,
Single time.
All right, Professor. As we wrap up this conversation, there are two schools of thought here. One sees this just as a privacy breach. Others see it as an issue of national security. But these are the two schools of thought. I don't know which one you fall under, or if you are within a third school of thought, like our guest, Dr. Ambrose here, who feels, oh well, this is normal. Nigerians, there is no data protection anyway. So it's just one of those days, one of those sunny days in Nigeria. But most importantly, as we wrap up now, what should INEC do in the now to restore voter confidence? Because a lot of Nigerians are feeling like, oh well, it's not going to make sense anyway, going out there to vote because hey, they have access to it. They will tweak it in the way they want. What should INEC do to restore voter confidence?
Very wonderful question. A very good question. First, let me address it from the first aspect. It's both a privacy issue and it's also a national security issue, which means somebody can be induced at the national security level, somebody can be induced to release our data. That's very alarming. So which means anybody in Nigeria with proper inducements, they can just go, once they have access to it, they can just release data to anybody. That should be something that the National Security Advisor should actually look into. What is the level of access we give certain people, and how do we vet them to make sure that they are beyond reproach, so that they don't release our data just to anybody? Because this is just we can call it an isolated incident, but this is something that we should learn from, that who are the people that we are trusting with the data that is this massive? Then, what should INEC do? I think from the chairman, he needs to go out there as the leader and address this full frontal. highlights what is being done to make sure that this will never happen again.
All right.
Explain to the public what are the punishments, what are the things, what are the process that is going to make sure that this person, as he has been identified, is punished under the law. And I think also, in addition to that, the Attorney General of the Federation, whoever is in charge of making sure that whoever breached a federal law is prosecuted appropriately, also need to join hands with the Inec chairman to make sure that this is something that we can bring confidence to the public that this is a one-off, it will never happen again.
Okay. All right.
That is what I will do if I'm in that situation.
All right, then. Thank you very much, Professor Olaniwaju Lawal. Dr. Ambrose Igboke, let's have your concluding thoughts on this. And please give us some hope.
Well, a system is what you throw in, you throw out, you get. Even the so-called AIs are templates, and when you prompt it, it will give you answers from the database of templates that it already has. So that is how systems work. The Nigerian system is highly fractured right now, especially when it comes to integrity. Even integrity on personal dealings, integrity on business, integrity on your money, integrity on representation, political representation. So integrity on data. The other time, NCC was forced to tell telecoms operators to refund some money because of data theft. You know, so because people don't go in for it. Now, INEC should not treat this as if it's a room orderly in a military establishment. INEC is a public institution that handles very critical national assignments. Therefore, you should not treat it as if it's a memo thing that you can just redeploy the staff to one state and leave him there. We should be able to track. They should inform Nigerians when the prosecution is coming up, when all this is happening. Because if he does and gets away with it, another person will try it and get away with it. Who knows what has been happening behind closed doors all this while? Was it because Mr. Larry put now this in public? That's how we got to know. What has happened to maybe people who have got it and didn't put it in public? So let me hope that this is not a routine in INEC. Because if it was a routine and it didn't come to the public, maybe we were just doing that. So let INEC make sure that we, get what. And then let Nigerians start becoming outraged at some absurdities that we are taking as normalcy. Once we start doing that, we are not even holding people accountable, even from the lowest level. And that is why somebody has a guts to just come, push things in publicly, no recourse, no remorse. Maybe his boss has told you, don't pull it down. Whatever they want to do, let them do it. And these public officers and politicians are very intelligent. They know that most Nigerians have what we call selective amnesia. After 1 week, this thing will go, we'll focus on other things. And people will still defend it. So INEC's server was not hacked. INEC has confirmed that, nothing. So it was a purely internal arrangement between a staff of INEC who has access to open and Mr. Leroy Olayinka. So if this thing was not hacked, then it is an internal sabotage. That internal sabotage must be treated the way it is. But things have happened. We had a power minister who told us that if we don't increase the tariff of electricity, that the country will go to blackout. For me, that was a reasonable statement. But he continued to turn until he resigned. So this country is a country of complex absurdities. And we are not even outraged as citizens. And once you don't do that, and you are docile and swallow everything, these people will try more new things.
Okay.
So there's no hope.
There's no hope.
There's no hope.
Oh, really?
Oh, well. There is hope. There is hope when the people decide to make a change. And the power really is in the hands of the people. We're talking about complex absurdities like Dr. Ambrose Igboke has stated. Is this one of them? Political realignment, as Reps Minority Leader Kingsley Chinda resigns position, defects to APC after winning governorship primaries. Well, let's look at this. Do you consider this one of those absurd anomalies? Quickly, just one word before we take this break.
A porn called our kerikeri. Yoruba language, that means just drama, porn, entertainment, play. Because I didn't even know that that kind of thing is possible.
Okay, we'll talk about that right after this break. Let's take a break. When we come back, the conversation continues.
Something big is happening on your screen. Introducing VOP TV, now streaming on SLTV channel 264. From breaking news to captivating conversations, news analysis, giving you all sides to the story. We bring in-depth discussions on the issues that matter, from politics to sports, entertainment, and lifestyle. VOP TV on SLTV channel 264. Join us as we redefine what television means to you. Voice of the People Television, VOP TV. Now you have more than a voice. The red carpets, awards, the razzmatazz, music, fashion, interviews, and more. Spotlight on Voice of the People Television. Let's feed you with all the juicy stories in the global entertainment space, bringing you the glitz and glamour as they hot. Stay tuned to Spotlight, 1 p.m. Monday to Friday. Spotlight on VOP TV. Entertainment like never before.
In a world where power shifts with every headlines, news breaks and events happens, we'll bring you unbiased and explicit information on politics, economy, and state of the nation. We break down the chaos. Facts, not fluff. Truth, not spin. We discuss not just politics, but a glimpse into the future. Voice of the People Television. Now you have more than a voice.
From the views on the street,
we go to bed empty hunger,
to the blaring horns of a hustling city, the loudest voices of the common man got a medium to be heard.
This particular administration, they were coming unprepared.
It's not a bad thing to renovate the president's lawn.
Through top-notch programming, unbiased reportage of news, sports, business, entertainment, and cultural documentaries, Voice of the People 90.3 FM became a symbol for 21st century media. And now, a new baby is born. Voice of the People Television, VOP TV. Youthful, full of vigor and penchant for excellence in the continent's media space. Exposing the wrongs, applauding the rights, dissecting the news without fear or favor, through factual and accurate stories and contents.
Corruption kills three things that makes a society.
Representing the interests of the people and giving them a voice. Voice of the People TV is here to stay towards building a fair society. VOP TV, Voice of the People Television, truly a voice for the people.
Welcome back. You're still watching VOP this morning. The Speaker of the House of Representatives on Tuesday read a letter announcing the defection of Minority Leader Kingsley Chinda from the PDP to the APC. The defection letter was, however, dated April 23, 2026. Following the announcement of his defection, Chinda subsequently resigned his position as Minority Leader of the House. He recently secured the APC governorship ticket for Rivers State ahead of the 2027 elections. Meanwhile, 7 members of the House of Reps have also defected from the PDP to the APM. The Green Chamber has recorded a wave of defections since the beginning of the year, ahead of the 2027 general election. But this latest realignment is raising eyebrows as calculations indicate that Chinda was selected as the APC governorship candidate for Rivers State while he was still serving as minority leader on the PDP platform. We are being joined this morning in the studios by Mr. Somi Oranta, who is a public affairs analyst. Good morning, Mr. Somi Oranta. We still have Dr. Ambrose in the studios. Somi, let's examine this. Mr. Chinda is a die-hard fan of Wike, and with this development, can we say that Wike still has a very strong, has a firm stronghold in Rivers politics and may just be determining the next governor of the state?
Well, yes, on Wike, the FCT minister, who unfortunately see himself as the Lord and Supreme Commander of Rivers State politics and the Commander-in-Chief of Abuja, who also is the landlord to the president, feels he can do anything he wants, the way he wants to do it, and get away with it. You know, initially, when this whole thing started, where Wike was talking about, he was, pontificating as a PDP member who is also, calling the shots in APC. I thought, or most Nigerians thought that that will never come to be. But it has happened. That Wike is the one who decides what happened in APC and in PDP. Yet he's still a PDP member. So if Wike could do it and get away with it, his stooge, his boy, I should say, can also do the same thing, because I do not see how somebody who is in another party holding a minority, the minority chief whip, could now go to contest, election, primary election, as it were, in another party. And then they now came back to read his resignation letter after he had been granted, taken as a winner of that. He's now a candidate for APC. So you see the way they just model things in Nigeria.
Somi Oranta.
Yes.
Somi Oranta. Before we, as we blame Wike, how do I even craft the question? Should we blame Wike or should we blame the weak institutions that threw up this scenario that is even illegal in the first place? Is it Wike that allowed the APC screening committee to screen a non-carried member of the APC? He went for the primaries and got elected while still a member of the PDP. Should we blame Wike or should we blame APC and Inec as a matter of fact?
Look, you mentioned institution. There is no institution under President Tinubu. There is, I don't want to say gradual. All the institutions of state has been broken down. What we have is one man who is running roughshod, and whoever he gives power to, he delegates authority to, can do anything on his behalf. So there's no institution. Which institution are you going to talk about? Before I came on air, you were talking about Inec, and the leaked data. They said they will handle it. they will not handle it. Nothing will happen. You see, we have a group of people that have taken over. This is called state capture. And it's done, so brazenly without any manner of decorum. So I see, that's an institution in Nigeria as it is today. And that's what we must stop if we want to go forward as a nation. We must stop this. Otherwise, this nation will become less than a banana republic.
All right, Dr. Ambrose, I want to, how do you react to this development? Kingsley Chinda, minority leader of the House of Representatives, a card-carrying member of the PDP, goes to the APC, fills a form, buys a form, nomination form, expression of interest form, to become governor of Rivers State. APC clears him. He's not a card-carrying member of the APC. The committee clears him. He goes into the primary stage, wins the election, returns to the House of Representatives, tenders a resignation letter after clinching the ticket of another political party while serving as the minority leader of the House of Representatives. How do you react to this development?
Well, in the first segment of this discussion, I used the terminology called complex absurdity. This is just a component of that, macro problem that we have as a country. Was there outrage? No. That's what I'm talking about. Everybody just took it as if it is normal. Was there outrage in Rivers State? No. The people who was trying to come and...
Benjamin Kalu did say that Mr. Chinda had resigned, from the PDP, but then he was asked to present the letter. Unfortunately, the letter didn't come until yesterday.
Okay, he resigned from PDP. Why is he holding a PDP position? You see, these people cannot fool us every time. Because they do these things and get away, so they think the rest of us are idiots. Or people that don't have reasoning capacity. You resign from a position that you held, you resign from a party that you held the position in trust as a minority party. He's telling us that he resigned, but he still held the position. Who are you talking to? So, because we allow, did anybody challenge him? No. Again. So they can give you any explanation, no matter how illogical that explanation is, and still get away with it. And then there are days, that means he has resigned from PDP earlier, because there are some number of days you need to stay in a political party before you even allowed to contest a position in that party.
Because the letter that was read by the speaker is dated April 23. And one starts to wonder, why wasn't it read? Why wasn't it read when it was presented?
They don't insist that say, look, if you are dropping this letter, you are leaving the minority position. Why didn't the leadership do that? So then, how long? We need to also go into investigate. How long does it take for you to join a APC that will qualify you now to even contest for a position there? So that means maybe if it was like 3 months, some parties will say 3 months, some parties will say 1 month, some parties will say 2 months, some parties will even say 6 months. So how long has he joined APC secretly to qualify him to contest as a candidate?
Talking about that one, they could have granted him a waiver, like NDC granted Omoagege a waiver. At the moment he left APC and joined.
It's in their constitution. What is it in the constitution of APC? Because every political party has their own constitution. Like the ADC said, their National Working Committee had the capacity to grant that. But does the APC National Working Committee have the capacity to grant that in their constitution? So these are the things we need to go on earth. But at the same time, what I'm even more angry about is that the people of Rivers State are okay with it. They're cool with it. No outrage anywhere. So it will continue. Already, somebody is planning something in Imo State already. The governor is already contesting for Senate. Wants to contest for Senate. Why as a sitting governor? So tomorrow, you will see, when we don't talk, you see, these people are trying us, the limit of what we can accept. So at a point, you will see maybe another governor will be governor in this state and want to be governor in another state. We will think it's as absurdity because nobody thought that these things happening now will happen 10 years ago. But they're happening now. And we are not still outraged. So my brother,
Well, Nigerians are outraged. I know you are, and a few of us are as well, because it's a little confusing as to how all of this is working. Well, let's go virtually. We do have Professor Olanrewaju still with us, Olanrewaju Lawal still with us. Professor, please talk to me. How do you react to this?
It's one of those things that, like Dr. said, we need to be properly informed. What is the duration of time that you have to be a member, contest for certain posts within the party? I'm not privy to that, so I cannot comment on that. But it's one of those, let me borrow Dr. Ambrose's phrase, complex absurdity. Because this is strange, because we worried that is it that no existing group of people are interested in that position? But I always leave to the politician. And one of the things that I will also say is that what Dr. Ambrose highlighted earlier. But I'm hopeful, maybe he's not hopeful, but I'm hopeful for Nigeria. What he highlighted before is that where is the outrage? Because when things are happening and nobody actually express any outrage, it means that
talking about the outrage.
Talking
about the outrage, sorry to butt in at this point. You are in Port Harcourt. You are there. So how are the people reacting, especially the politically inclined in Port Harcourt? How are they reacting? Is there outrage in Port Harcourt?
I do not see any outrage. I do. Maybe the outrage is on the ground, but I have not seen the external manifestation of such outrage. I have not noticed it. I cannot say I'm everywhere, but I do not see that outrage across the state. So it's one of those we have to. Dr. Ambrose said something there, that consciousness, there has to be that collective consciousness. And hopeful is that I hope that we are moving towards that level, because there's so much that you can do before people react. There's always that tipping point. So I don't know when that will be, but I hope we'll get to that tipping point that we start saying, no, there are some things that we do not accept. And I want to say it categorically that why Nigerians are such a difficult set of people to manage is that the same thing they will complain about their politicians, go into their offices, the places where they have power and control, and you will see them doing exactly the same thing. And this is why it's so complicated that when you see people at the very low level, they do this, then the politician knows that they will not react otherwise when they do all this, what we identify as complex absurdities.
Complex absurdities, so indeed. I think you and Dr. Ambrose Iboke, you people have given us a new lexicon in our politics, which is a complex absurdity. Before we go to Oka, where we've been joined virtually by Honorable Chidubem Ezekwem, I would like to ask Somi Uranta here. Somi Uranta is, by the way, from Rivers State. Somi, how much of outrage have you seen in your people back home? I mean, you get feelers from home. What's the level of outrage that you see there?
Rivers people are outraged. They are outraged over the fact that this Wike is so insensitive. This crass greed that is exhibiting. You know, Rivers State is made up of upland and riverine. From 1999, an uplander, you know, Sir Peter Odili governed the state for 8 years. Rotimi Amechi, after small issues about a period with Celestine Omehia, Rotimi Amechi ruled for another 8 years and Wike another 8 years. we have total of 24 years. And now Fubara from the riverine, the Ijaw area, came in, and he has not governed that state for 2 months without interference from Wike.
Okay.
He just wanted an extension of, a kind of third term to continue. So he made sure that the state remained ungovernable.
Okay, so
after which, I'm coming, please.
Okay.
After which, he now decided to go and bring another Fela Ikwere man, an uplander. You see, he wants to put the state
exactly my point.
A very serious state of crisis.
Okay, so the outrage.
There is outrage.
Is coming from the fact that Chinda, an Ikwere man, is coming to replace a Rivers man, and not the process of emergence of Chinda.
Everything all put together.
All put together.
Rivers people are not happy about it.
All right,
And
we'll get your
talking and
concluding
writing.
thoughts. We'll get your concluding thoughts as custom. Let's get to Oka and get the views of our guest there, Honorable Chidubem Ezekwe. Good morning to you, Honorable Ezekwe, and thanks for joining us on VOP this morning.
Yeah, good morning. Good morning. Good morning, Nigerians.
Okay, good morning. Beautiful. Good to have you join us. Now, I'm sure you have followed this conversation. Kingsley Chinda, from PDP, moved over to the APC, collected the Goba ticket, came back to the PDP, resigned, and now he's formally in the APC, we assume. How do you react to this development?
Well, as somebody said earlier, we are not actually asking the right questions. I don't think, yes, we should actually blame him somehow. But then I will say there are institutions, beginning from Inec, then going to the House of Reps. Why didn't the leadership of the House of Representatives question the letter? Why didn't they question the letter? You see, if we continue doing things like this, we won't actually have a headway in our country. We won't have a headway in our country. So, for me, I believe that it is the duty of the House of Representative leadership to question those things. If at all there is something wrong with it, that's what I have to say.
Okay, so it is the responsibility of the House of Representatives to question all of that. But in your opinion, what should be the role of the APC? I mean, APCs accepted a non-party member to run for their Goba. They cleared him, he won for the primaries and won. How does that test the integrity of the internal democracy within the APC? As a matter of fact, a few other people who had been in the APC before him, didn't win the ticket. How shouldn't that call to question the integrity of the internal democracy in the APC?
All right, I will say this in clear terms. One, the APC, if they had any issue with this, they should have actually said it from the beginning. But then, of course, this is Nigeria. And then when you ask them, they'll tell you that it is politics. You understand? They'll tell you that it happens to be politics, that's the way it's done. But what I still say is that if there is a problem, if the House of Rep members had issue with it, they should have questioned it. If the APC had any issue with it, they should have questioned it. If INEC had any issue with it, they should have questioned it. But the fact that they did not shows that the entire parties involved that we think should have questioned this are all comfortable with it.
But that doesn't mean that Nigerians should not question it, because Nigerians are not comfortable with it. And like you heard from one who is from Rivers State itself, he's saying that there is an outrage amongst Riverians. They are not comfortable with it, so they are questioning it. So where does that leave all of us? Let's have your concluding thoughts, please, because we're wrapping up now.
All right. Well, first, that is one thing that we must show as citizens. We must be extremely discerning. We must be extremely resolute. If people are upset about something, they have every right to protest. They have every right to speak about their grouses. They have every right to say that which is their issue. You understand? That is the beauty of democracy. That is what makes it very wonderful. But then I also want to tell citizens this. In the next election, vote for your choice. Do not collect money to vote. You understand? Because most of the things that happen in Nigeria is simply because they believe that Nigerians cannot do anything. You understand? They believe that Nigerians cannot do anything, and it happens to be the precedents that we have set over
All right
time.
then. All right then. Thank you very much. Thank you very much,
All right.
Honorable
All right.
Chidubem Ezekwe. Now let's go to Professor Onlariwaju Lawal. Professor, let's have your concluding thoughts in about a minute, please.
Okay. My thoughts. I think there will be more to unfold. There will be more things unfolding after this because there may be some things that will come out that we need to check the situation. But to reiterate, we as citizens, we need to get to the point that we are not happy with what is going on, and we must be organized enough practically let them know that this is not ideal. It cannot continue. And when we don't have that collective consciousness, we will always be afraid as individuals. I may be strong enough, maybe because I am at a particular level in my life that I can by myself, I can stand alone. But I think many other people may not be able to that collective consciousness that this is not right and this cannot. Then we can make it. It's a marathon. It's not
It's
a
a
sprint.
marathon. All right then.
So we have to get to that level.
We have to get to that level indeed. Thank you very much, Professor Olariwaju Lawal. Mr. Ambrose, sorry, I beg your pardon, Mr. Somi Ranta. Let's have your concluding thoughts.
I will conclude by saying that Rivers people are not an item on the shelf that anybody with a deep pocket can just pick and buy and pay and get away with it. You see, APC may decide to do what they want to do. The other colleague of mine, from the out station, was saying that the parties involved feel there's nothing wrong with it. We can't run a system like this. We can't run a system like this. There must be checks and balances. Nigeria must get to the point of, insisting on right things to be done. And by the way, you say people should not collect rice, collect money. I would say Nigeria should collect it because they are money. Collect it and do what you want to do, what you have to do. Because these people have pauperized Nigerians, they have weaponized poverty. So
when the conscience is mad, would you still hold them accountable if one way or another
they should collect the money and insist on the right to be done? Because they are money. These people have looted the nation dry.
All right then.
Thank you.
Okay, Dr. Ambrose Igboke, your final thoughts on this one.
Well, firstly, the power of democracy does not reside with the elites. It resides with the masses, the people. Where we get things wrong is when the masses don't know that they have such power and they have traded off this power by, especially on election day, you collect rice and you collect wrapper, you collect those things. Once you collect them, you have sold your conscience and they will be doubled. Then the person who gave it to you will now try to exert some authority over you because you feel you have collected. The right attitude should be to reject it. The right attitude will be to reject them. And the right attitude will be to reject oppression and malfeasance that is practiced by all and sundry, especially the Inec, the courts. Because when you are shortchanged, then you should be able to protest. For example, in democracy, protest is a legitimate instrument in democracy, but our people are not even using it enough. So when you do, they'll say, they will kill you, they will shoot you, well, they will do this, they will do that. Explain, complaints. People who get freedom didn't get it because they sat in their homes and are afraid of consequences. So until we are able to stand up for our rights, be able to hold our leaders accountable, be able to want to work for change, we shall continue to be where we are and without hope.
All right, the views of our guests in the studio, Dr. Ambrose Igboke, who is a global communication expert, media consultant, fellow, Institute of Chartered Mediators, and Chairman Guild of Public Affairs Analysts, Enugu Chapter. Well, thank you very much for your contribution. It's still not a hopeless situation. Nigerians have hope. Somi Oranta, author, entrepreneur, and public affairs analyst, thank you for coming. Honorable Chidubem Ezekwe joined us from Oka, and youthpreneur and commentator on political and public affairs. Yes, that's what he is. And then we had Professor Olanrewaju Lawal, a lecturer at the prestigious University of Port Harcourt, who joined us from Port Harcourt. Gentlemen, thank you for your time and your thoughts on the program. At 10 o'clock, we'll go deeper into the headlines now, looking at the stories that made it to the cover pages of the dailies. I am Moses Humphrey. See you at 10. Bye for now.
I'm Jane Ogoye. Thank you for watching. See you in a bit.
I'm Shukuma Okoro. Bye for now.
Nigerians, your voice matters, and in 2027 it starts with your permanent voters card, your PVC. If you're 18 and above and you're a Nigerian citizen, you have the right to choose who leads your community, your state, and your country. But that right only counts if you have your PVC and your name is on the voter register. Here's what to do. First, check if you're registered. If you're not, or if you've moved, lost your card, or turned 18 since the last election, go to the nearest Inec office or an Inec registration center. Second, it's free. Don't pay anyone for any registration or collection. Third, collect your PVC early. Don't wait until the week before elections. Inec will announce dates. Listen to radio, TV, and follow Inec's official pages. Your PVC is more than plastic. It's your power to hold leaders accountable. It's how you decide on roads, schools, hospitals, and jobs for your community. When you vote, you decide the future of your children. Get registered. Get your PVC. Vote in 2027. For Nigeria to work, you must be a part of it. Your vote, your future, your responsibility. This message is brought to you by Iruka Group of Companies.
Are you ready for the extraordinary? Something big is happening on your screen. Introducing VOP TV. Now streaming on SLTV channel 264. From breaking news to captivating conversations, news analysis, giving you all sides to the story. We bring in-depth discussions on the issues that matter, from politics to sports, entertainment, and lifestyle. VOP TV on SLTV channel 264. Join us as we redefine what television means to you. Voice of the People Television, VOP TV. Now you have more than a voice.
Mr. Familoni, and here's to VOP TV. Keep watching, stay tuned, do not touch that dial.
Arararara, my name is Made Kuti and you're watching VOP TV. Keep watching.
Welcome, my name is Ika Davis. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, boys, viewers, everybody, boys and girls. This is VOP TV. Do you know what that means? Voice of the People TV. You don't have a voice, don't come here. You better make sure your voice is heard.
This is Health Check, your weekly guide to better living, smarter choices, and trusted answers. From everyday wellness to urgent health issues, we've got you covered. Health Check, only on Voice of the People Television, where your health has a voice.
The red carpets, awards, the razzmatazz, music, fashion, interviews, and more. Spotlight on Voice of the People Television. Let's feed you with all the juicy stories in the global entertainment space, bringing you the glitz and glamour as they hot. Stay tuned to Spotlight, 1 p.m. Monday to Friday. Spotlight on VOP TV. Entertainment like never before.
Welcome to the locker room, the home of football talk that matters. I am Jerry Ampelhon. Join us every weekday, Monday to Friday at 5 p.m. Nigerian time, as we share the hot takes and hot debates in the exciting world of football. And joining me are the usual suspects, Ikechukwu and Mayowa, as we break down all the hot takes and everything that's happening in the football. Don't just watch football, live it with us. Catch us on the locker room and Voice of the People Television at 5 p.m. Nigerian time. And like I always say, if not 20 minutes off, please discuss.
And it's Hakim Ziyech who puts the
Join us as we drive into the world of politics through insightful interviews with prominent political figures, both serving and former governors, ministers, senators, legislators, party chieftains, activists, and analysts. Get first-hand information into the decision-making processes that affect our daily lives. Highly engaging 1-hour program that brings political discourse into focus.
I am Chukwuma Okoro.
Political Lens, Monday through Friday, 6 to 7 p.m. Join us.
Behind every broken desk lies a broken promise. Education shapes the nations. But who is asking the right questions? Introducing Edu